Hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to deal on the reason why people engage in fraud. Have you ever wondered why some very respectable member of the society engage in fraud, or they just misappropriate the finances that have been entrusted to them? Well, the main reason why people engage in fraud is mostly psychological. It's something that is far much deeper than the physical action. Before the actual action is taken, there must have been psychological justification for the action. And therefore, in this video, we are going to deal on the three reasons why people engage in fraud, and most importantly, fraud in businesses or fraud in fiduciary roles. Okay, and they include the following: one is rationalization, second one is pressure, and the third one is opportunity. Rationalization is basically where people try to justify the reason why they are supposed to do the things they are supposed to do. They give a meaning to the action. And this is very dangerous because it justifies the action, and in fact they don't see what they are doing as being wrong. For example, if someone says, well, it is for the good of the company, well, I didn't have a choice. Well, I'm not being paid enough. Well, you don't have bills to pay. Well, all manner of justification. And this one is very dangerous because once they start justifying the action, they don't actually see what they are doing as being wrong. They just see it as a means to the end. A common justification is you are doing for the benefit of your company. For example, when you forge documents or you cook books, financial books, where you justify maybe it's for the benefit of the company so that the shares do not fall, so that you can able to get that loan. There's some loans that before you get them, maybe you must hit a certain target. And if that target is not hit, then you will not get that loan. So what do? You cook those books so that you can be able to get loan. Well, that is a good reason, but once you start cooking those books, it will be impossible for you to stop. The other one is pressure. Pressure may be arise from individual or from a company perspective. One, so if you look from a company perspective, the pressure is, for example, maybe to maintain their status, maybe to meet the market forecast, maybe the market or the expert are predicting that or are forecasting that maybe you're going to give maybe you're going to hit a certain performance. Maybe you are going to earn a certain amount of revenue. Maybe you are going to grow by this percentage. So for you to meet the market expectation, then you must sometimes the pressure is too high and you have to cook those financial records. Another one is, for example, there is a data application that requires you to maintain certain financial ratios. Maybe there are certain earnings you must make. Maybe certain you must maintain certain basic ratios. Current ratio maybe a ratio of two. If you are not able to meet those ratios, or the only justification you can do, or the only thing you can do is cook those financial records. Individual pressure mostly comes from one, if individuals have a gambling issues. If they need money issues, they need money to meet their certain obligations. Maybe there's someone in their family who is sick and they need to meet pay, or maybe they have resolved grievances with their organization. Maybe they feel that they are not adequately rewarded for their effort, and therefore they resort to fraud. Another one is, for example, if they have a huge debt that they need to pay. So that one can also be a reason why a pressure reason that may force people to engage in fraud. And the third one is opportunity. Opportunity arises from the fact that people know they can get away with fraud. They know they can perform fraudulent activity and still get away without being caught. For example, that this is mostly arises from poor internal controls. Let's say, for example, the money is kept in an insecure place. It is not even locked. For example, they have no system that control their financial activities. For example, there is no audit. There is no audit that is being carried out. There is no one check. There is no control checks. This opportunity that arises gives a perfect motive for people to commit fraud. In fraud examination, we say it is very impossible to minimize or to eliminate pressure and rationalization, but it is possible for an individual or a company to eliminate opportunity for people to commit fraud. And this is mostly done by strong internal controls. And some of the strong internal controls are very simple, like job rotation, allowing people to go on leave. Okay, those simple. For example, screening. Example, you screen those people who are hiring in high sensitive areas. For example, in accountant, or those people are doing, for example, the accounting involved in financial records. Another one is the tone that is established at the top. For example, the top management, if they are strict and they ensure that they are also not unethical, they are not engaging in unethical activities, then they will set a tone to the people who are under them, and they know that this company does not engage in any form of corruption activities. And this encourages even the other junior members also to uphold integrity. But if the head is rotten, even the body will also be rotten. There's also another rule called 10-80-10, and this rule states that 80% of individuals in an organization are either corrupt or good, but this is determined by the 10% at the top and the 10% at the bottom. If the 10% at the top are ethical and are doing all the things right, and they do not engage in any fraudulent or corrupt activities, then the 80% will follow the 10% that are ethical. And if the bottom 10 are also unethical, then the minority, if the minority are the ones who are unethical, then they will be forced to follow the majority who are ethical. So when you see people engaging in fraudulent activities, just know there is underlying and psychological reasons why they do it. It does not just happen by chance. It's something that has been cooking over time, and the only way you can eliminate it is by ensuring that there is strong internal controls that eliminate the opportunity for people to commit fraud, and that's the only way you ensure that there is no fraudulent activities are not prevalent in your organization. So, and until next time, I hope you have learned something interesting, and I hope we meet you in the next time. Thank you.